Hey, James G here with Tarpley Music in Fort Worth, Texas. But hey, if you need to, you can always find us online at tarpleymusic.com. So I got a signature model from Ibanez today. This is the TOD10N, also known as the Tim Henson model. So very different animal, okay? So it is nylon string based, although by no means is a traditional classical, right? Very thin body here with a kind of a cool single cutaway. The top is solid Sitka spruce, and then you got sapelli back and sides, obviously darkened for this beautiful, like, kind of transparent color here. And it's got a sound hole that's right here, just to kind of give you a little bit sound right back at you in your face there. And then this is a walnut bridge, as well as the fretboard is also is made out of walnut. This is a Nyota neck, and so the only thing to me that feels a little bit other than this kind of slotted classical headstock is the neck actually does feel pretty thin and wide, even though they call it a C shape, but I think it's maybe a little C that's had, an extra burger, right? It's just a little bit bigger that way. And so the radius is 400 millimeters. So for you inch guys, that's a 15 3¼ roughly inch. So pretty close to, and that's pretty standard for a classical style there. And then this inlay is this gorgeous inlay here. They actually call it the Tree of Death inlay. I don't know why, because it looks so pretty, but it doesn't look like it's dying. It's even got a rose right here. So really gorgeous inlay they've got going on here on these 22 frets that you've got. And now the scale length is pretty normal. So the scale length being from the bridge down here up to the nut is 25.5. Beautiful gold classical style tuners. And then it's got an Ibanez S-Core pickup in it. And then this is a Fishman. It's the AEQ T10TF. I know you're going to write that down and remember it. But anyway, that's the model number of it is with an onboard tuner for the effects here. But it's a cool little pickup here. And I think traditionally, really, this would be, an instrument that you would mic and, it's really kind of get the room up. But I think this is really made for probably that direct right sound. So just because of thin body for comfort. And if you watch him play, he's just moving so fast to make sense. However, we're going to go ahead and mic it up when we do a demo, just so you can kind of hear what it would sound like if you mic'd it up as well. And then, of course, we'll play it direct, and we'll do a combination of both of those. And then, even though traditionally it's a finger-style instrument with classical, I'm going to do it with a pick as well, just because this is kind of taking a traditional-style instrument and kind of pushing the envelope a little bit. If you watch us playing, you'll know what I mean. So I think it'd be kind of cool to give you, hey, this is going to kind of some basic finger style playing, and it's going to sound what it's going to sound like if you do use a pick. Alright, so we've heard this guitar on its own, but I'm wondering, what would it sound like if I mix it with some other instruments? Well, let's find out. Hit it, boys! So obviously, you know, I was playing this in a very basic, just kind of a simple guitar way, and not something that, you know, like Tim would do, where he's just flying all over the place and doing a lot of cool things. But I do want you to hear just the tone of it, right? So if you're getting an idea, okay, whether I'm that style of a player or not, is that something I might be interested in, or is it something I could use in my arsenal at home or whatever? So it's different. It's cool. And one thing I will tell you is this double binding, this mother pearl double binding, is really, really pretty. And of course, it being, you know, somewhat hollow with the Sitka, and it's extremely light. And so you can probably juggle 3 of these if you wanted to, extremely light. So yes, is it a niche instrument? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, it is a real thin line, nylon-based string guitar. Hey, I'm learning traditional classical. Probably not it, right? I want kind of that sound, but I do a lot of experimental stuff, and I play different styles, and I really like to create different kinds of music. Yes, right? So there is, in my opinion, that's my humble little opinion there, Now, as far as getting that feel for classical, maybe in a practice sense, it makes a whole lot of sense because, like I said, the neck does feel somewhat traditionally like that, and it's definitely the right nut width and the right radius to give you kind of that classical feel there. And I think this, from just a look standpoint, it's a really cool looking guitar. It's very different. It definitely would turn some heads, right? And just it being on the wall for a couple days here in this store, it's a conversation piece. What's that, right? So it definitely does get that kind of attention. So, and I will tell you, especially if you really like just crazy, in your face, way too many notes guitar style playing, you really got to go check out Tim Henson. It's really, really great stuff, something different really to listen to. And check him out, and of course he is, a Metroplex boy, so we're gonna obviously throw that out there as well. So hope you learned something about this guitar. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. It was really interesting. It's a really different. It's cool when I get to do something really, really completely different because it definitely puts me way out of my playing comfort zone. It kind of makes me dig in and figure out what I'm doing a little bit. So that's cool. So hey, if you did like it, hit the likey thing. This is a likey thing. And subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. And if you'd like to know, as we drop more videos, we can let you know the second it drops. If you just hit the little bell, turn on the notifications, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.